Hi, this is Krista back here with you again today. Doing another video on narcissism and probably a little bit on addiction, toxic families, toxic partners, toxic lifestyles. Sometimes, a lot of times, we can be born into toxic families and grow up, and we are conditioned to take on a lot of pain from toxic parents. We can take on so much pain, emotional, mental, psychologically, and become so confused. Maybe if we're the scapegoat and we were rejected a lot. Maybe if we were one of the children that hid most of the time away from it. Maybe we turned into defiance and became rebels, drinking ourselves into a state of numbness, adding layer upon layer, as we come many years out on our own, full of emotional pain from emotional abuse, mental abuse, sometimes physical abuse, to keep you just in a state of constant eggshells, constant anxiety, depression, worry, where we're always trying to please that person, but it's never good enough for them. Even when we go into adulthood and we have lives of our relationships that seem to backfire, and we keep attracting the same type of mate. If you look back at all on your growing up, I can see for myself now that all the relationships I've ever had, which were numerous relationships with men, all backfired because I was chasing around these narcissistic, sometimes even, um, oh, what's the name? um, Different kinds of narcs. There's so many different kinds. I guess we can get into that a different day. But I just like to talk on here, randomly, kind of what I'm researching. Um, and sitting here with the COVID for a while, there's a lot that I've taken in, and just see all these different patterns happening, um, again, trying to be hoovered back by my toxic family. A lot of times in families, toxic families, they don't want you to leave. If you basically can put up with their crap, um, will keep you, or even try to hoover you again and again back into the family, with flying monkeys, with if you are at all, like maybe have a family business with these people, or whatever it is, or, dad died, come home and take care of me, um, whatever their excuses are, or maybe if they've pitfalled you again in some way, and you are hoovered back into this family or this relationship, um, with just maybe possible little lies or more sabotaging that they've put you through. Maybe you've lost your job because of that toxic relationship. Maybe you've lost your car. A little bit of what I've learned lately is that uh, going through it myself, when you are have to go back into a toxic whatever for a while, do not underestimate these people. Do not underestimate their power to try to control you, or um, the punishment that you receive once they have you under their control again. Because number one, if you leave, they're really mad that you do leave. Because according to them, you are theirs, like an object, to do with as they please, with no consequences. They think they are entitled to your everything, your body, a lot of times your money, anything that they can get their hands on because they are takers. And a lot of times, us codependents are engineered from children to serve these people like servants or slaves. And if they don't, there will be punishment. Um, I find myself that having to come back home for a little while. Um, and one point I really wanted to make was that when you lose your car, when you lose transportation, or you lose um, your job, these people, partners, will put you in this state where they will come down on you even harder during these times when you are completely dependent on them. Um, they might pound you down even worse during these times. Also, if you fall ill, they'll kick you even worse when you're down because you're in a vulnerable state. And they don't like that you're in this vulnerable state because to them it triggers something inside of them that is weak and insecure, and they're just like in the head, not logically thinking right, and thinking that we have to be better than that. We can't be sick and all these things, even though we are. They don't quite get it. Um, it's a real experience to go through this, um, as you might be growing up, or as finding and beginning to realize in your own relationships or your own addictions. Um, because addictions are just like being in a toxic relationship where love is actually the addiction. There's trauma bonding. Um, Also, when they punish you, it creates more trauma bonding, and then they come back with you, maybe with not as much love as they gave you in the beginning of the relationship when they were love bombing. But as time goes on, um, love is given to us less and less and less. And a lot of times we don't even realize that we end up just getting crumbs from these people, but more along times, feeling rejected, not accepted. Um, and if you do start standing up for yourself and having boundaries, these people can really cast you out of families. Um, Triangulation is a real thing. And it seems like every time I listen to another video or read a book, I realize more that triangulation and how it's used in my own life and see it played out um, when my parents took my children when I was got caught using, and really just blame and shame the hell out of me, and then tell my children how bad I was, and just these little nitpicky things like, well, your mom's unstable and your mom's not in her right mind and she's dangerous and all these things. When you're mad as hell. Um, and then that's where you have to learn about controlling your emotions. For us, more people with more severe CPTSD, where we feel like raging and it not being fair, and we want to fight back. And we've been taught to do that, but it really gets us nowhere in the end, and we end up wrestling with these pigs, and then we get all toxic and muddy ourselves, and it hurts, every time you go to arguing with these people. I don't mean to be a downer today, but just describing some of these things, like with the triangulation, how they can go tell lies about you or these big fibs, to your family and to your friends. Um, and just make you out to have done this or that, and I'm not really so great, and then all of a sudden people aren't talking to you. um Maybe they're threatening you and then telling everybody that you need medical, or to be on some kind of medicine and to be wary. uh all these kinds of excuses that they can get people to turn on you, to get you not more alone and isolated and more controlled. These can be very extremely hard times. Um, I know that sometimes it's hard for us to leave these relationships, and they can hang on for years and years. Limiting contact, no contact does help. It's probably the best thing for you to do. Keep learning about all these things. um, but just be careful when you're trying to talk with a narcissistic individual or put them into rages where you lose your cool, and what comes out of your mouth is just spewed like what you think of them, that they're pieces of crud, and you know what they're doing, and all these things that you're learning about narcissism, um, is not recommended. To keep your information hidden from them, good and bad, whether it's another success in your life, or whatever. if you have to keep quiet about it for a while because of their extreme jealousy, to always be better than you, um, whether it's in work, um, or whatever it is, that it's not your fault that they're like that towards you, and it can be very painful. And all these things added up make us might want to go use. Know that these people do not have to keep you down forever, that you can keep going on with this new knowledge and hope that we don't have to stay in these situations. We can learn how to get out and break free and have freer lives and better lives. And even if you have lost your children due to CPS during addiction, or they have somebody has a toxic person has smear campaigned you and gotten custody or something of your kids, um, just know that even though you're feeling crazy, um, that you can beat it. And when your children are 18 and older, to at least try to communicate to them through these times. Keep papers for your lawyer to keep in custody battles of things that they do. And also to keep messages that they throw on your phone, and even maybe get a little video recorder and put it in your pocket for when you're talking with this person about this or that, and to catch them and what they say when you go into the courts or whatever, or go in to get that police protection order. Um, I know things differ state to state, but still, you have to keep yourself safe. That's part of recovery, is getting a place, finding a home, taking a shelter where you are not constantly provoked by these people, causing constant intimidation and threat to you, because what you need is to feel safe. That's one of the healing processes of recovering from toxic abuse. And having a place where you can feel safe, because that helps ease some of that CPTSD, and learning coping skills, meditating, whatever you can to de-stress, and not trying to be a psychologist here because I'm just a coach, learning as well. Um, but just, I enjoy helping people um, understand it, because, and I'm really glad to see information coming out here on all these, on the YouTube videos, because I know that it's ending up saving me from some misery. Um, it saves many, and it's no joke. The manipulation that these people can really uh, suck people in, and luckily for us scapegoats, a lot of times they will spit us back out, because we can often, more sensitive empaths, can really see past their lies. Um, and they can't have that. They can't be exploited that way, because then they would have to start over again. That would be like a death to them, and they would have to find new people to fall under their spell. But know that there is help out there, And if you need to join a therapist, I know I have a therapist, and uh, have somebody to talk to, journal, hide your journal as best you can, um, and just get through it, because even if they might hoover us back into the whatever it is again, um, you start again. You just plan, save, and start again. If you need to go to a shelter, do so. Find safety if it's too bad to be in the same house with. But just know that there is help. So thanks for listening today, and I hope you have a great day.